Francis has written a letter addressed to every person on this planet, asking us all to protect the Earth, our common home. In the letter, he says, "The Earth is God's gift to us. It is full of beauty and wonder. And it belongs to everyone. But what we see today is that our common home has never been so hurt and mistreated. We have developed at a greater speed than we could have ever imagined, and have treated the Earth like it has an unlimited supply of resources. We have taken more than our fair share from most people on the planet, as well as future generations. We have cut down the Earth's natural forests, polluted the Earth's waters, its land and its air. The Earth, our home, is beginning to look more and more like an immense pile of filth. We are using more and more polluting fossil fuels, which is contributing to climate change. Climate change is one of the biggest challenges we face today. Climate change affects us all, but it's the poorest communities who suffer the most. And despite these problems, we are not slowing down on how much we buy and throw away, leaving a trail of waste and destruction. We cannot continue like this. We can change, and we can make a new start. The whole human family needs to work together to care for our planet Earth, so that we can sow beauty, not pollution and destruction. So let's put love for the world and love for our neighbours into action by living together in harmony and caring for nature. Can you take simple, everyday eco-actions to care for the Earth? Like turning off lights, reducing water waste, and recycling? And can you live more simply, reducing the amount of things we buy and throw away, so that we don't take more than our fair share? The world can't wait, so let's make that start today. Play your part to protect our common home. Laudato Si, a letter from Pope Francis on care for our common home.
I'm reading Psalm 104, verses 24 to 33. Lord, you have made so many things. How wisely you made them all. The earth is filled with your creatures. There is the ocean, large and wide, where countless creatures live, large and small alike. The ships sail on it, and in it plays the Leviathan, that sea monster that you made. All of them depend on you to give them food when they need it. You give it to them, and they eat it. You provide food, and they are satisfied. When you turn away, they are afraid. When you take away your breath, they die and go back to the dust from which they came. But when you give them breath, they are created. You give new life to the earth. May the glory of the Lord last forever. May the Lord be happy with what he has made. He looks at the earth and it trembles. He touches the mountains and they pour out smoke. I will sing to the Lord all my life. As long as I live, I will sing praises to my God. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
The New Testament reading is Matthew chapter 25, verses 31 to 40. When the Son of Man comes as King, and all the angels with him, he will sit on his throne, and the people of all nations will be gathered before him. Then he will divide them into two groups, just as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the righteous people on his right, and the others on his left. Then the king will say to the people on his right, "Come, you that are blessed by my Father, come and possess the kingdom which has been prepared for you ever since the creation of the world. I was hungry, and you fed me, thirsty, and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger, and you received me into your homes, naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you took care of me, in prison, and you visited me." The righteous will then answer him, "When, Lord, did we ever see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you a drink? When did we ever see you a stranger and welcome you into our homes, or naked and clothed you? When did we ever see you sick or in prison and visit you?" The king will reply, "I tell you, whenever you did this for one of the least important of these brothers of mine, you did it for me." Amen.
We have just heard a beautiful song of praise and thanksgiving and a reading from the New Testament where we are charged to care for the poor and disadvantaged. These readings that between them acknowledge the beauty and splendour of the world and also illustrate a whole range of needs that requires action seem to echo Pope Francis's call to all for appreciation of the world and care for others. A few years ago at school, we created a new curriculum as was required by Ofsted at the time, but we saw it as an opportunity to embed the challenge to care for our common home found in Laudato Si, social action and an appreciation and contribution in our local community within the everyday teaching and learning of school life. Our hope that children will continue to see this focus on care for the environment and people as important when they leave us and continue into adulthood. This shouldn't sound like these are new things for us to be interested in and doing, but weaving it into our whole school plans across all curriculum areas gave us a more power and focus. It also helped us to identify what we were already doing and where there were gaps. For example, we did lots of fundraising activities, but did the children really know why they were doing them? It also highlighted that maybe we should be encouraging them to campaign and speak out more. Over the last few years, we've tried to be visible in the community. Young people who value where they live will grow up to be adults who value where they live. It's important that as a school, we support local organisations, projects and charities, like the Local Council and the Food Bank. We've tried to develop a relationship with the Food Bank that is ongoing by collecting donations all through the year in the food box in the foyer and having a particular focus harvest and during Advent. Last Advent Sada during Advent, with some pictures of both our Tom looking them all. Has a particular favourite with our families. Originally a Latin American festival, we adapted it so children take Mary and Joseph home with them overnight and offer them hospitality. They then return to school the next day with an item of food for the food bag. This idea of welcoming strangers and offering shelter fit very well with our earlier New Testament reading. The families enjoy being hosts and often send in photos of where their family have stayed. If you look up there, you can see the They can stay near the Lego land, and we get all sorts. They stay in all kinds of interesting and wonderful places, and we have some wonderful contributions that we can then pass on to feedback at the end of that. The slide also shows other ways that the school and children show commitment to the life of the town. Year 5 and 6 have had a link with Clifftop Care for 4 years now. Initially, we piloted a scheme run by Plymouth Diocese which offered funding to help us organise a link on the care setting. Clifftop were very keen for some regular contact with the school, and we just made an action plan, written them a few letters, and COVID struck. However, the children were determined that they would keep in touch with the residents and proceeded to maybe send them all sorts of things throughout the whole time of COVID. They made sun catchers for their windows when they all confined to their rooms. They sent an advent wreath, an advent calendar, trade chocolate to the carers. They wrote them postcards. They even sang carol outside in the garden while the residents were sitting inside with the windows open. As things relaxed, they sent cakes and decorations for the Jubilee. Finally, last Christmas, they were able to visit us to watch the Inkling Nativity play. The residents have sent us plenty of beautiful cards and crafts and showed us in return. One of the key elements of this relationship is the sustainability of the partnership. Popping in to see Harrods once a year, whilst nice, is not the same as creating a relationship that develops and grows, bringing enjoyment and meaning to both parties. Each year, a new group of children that take on the challenge of their relationship really want to go and visit properly as they're on there. And this year it looks like it might finally happen. What do my children want to do when they eventually get to go inside Clifftop? Play board games. That's what I want to do. Fourth year is that being part of the civic life in town is also encouraged. So attendance on the random state and our classes or at the church or the civic service or town carol service are all seen as important parts of our school year. Learning about world and environmental issues helps to support the school's involvement in a variety of charities and causes. Some of you will be aware of our link with the school in Uganda. Again, another sustained relationship that's now in its 15th year. Whilst there is a supportive element to the relationship where we've helped to develop their school buildings and then when we visited, worked along with site teachers to model alternative practices, it's also a reciprocal relationship, allowing our children and staff to have first-hand knowledge and experience of the lives of people who may, in many ways, have similar lives, but in reality, the contrasts are huge. Links with charities like CAFOD, Christian Aid, Fair Trade, Rotary, Comic Relief and St Mungo's offer a regular opportunity throughout the year for us to identify with a variety of issues and themes. Fundraising forms a part of this engagement. There is also an opportunity for pupils to share their learning from each event with parents and other children across the school. An example being that part of the Year 5's ROE curriculum learning is linked to refugees and the homeless. They choose a charity, mainly St Mungo's, and then plan a fundraising event. This would include leading assemblies for the classes to raise awareness and writing to parents to explain what is happening and why. This has proved to be a powerful model. Other children seem to be both fascinated and focused by interaction with their peers. How this activity in the local community and in the wider world can only be seen as positive. However, Laudato Si challenges us to both do more and be more. This means that speaking out and taking action about things we value should be encouraged. Over the years, we've developed a good relationship with the local council, and pupils visit to ask their questions, maybe about the beach management, or to tell them about their trade. We're fortunate that the local councillors are very supportive and will come into school and listen to speeches about a variety of ways we might need to care for the environment. I like to think that they're imagining them as councillors in the future. Taking action can take different forms, but the older children are keen to write letters to local businesses, other schools, even our diocese, to challenge them about how green and sustainable they actually are. Whilst all this activity obviously has tremendous benefits to the individuals involved, and hopefully the wider community and world, it is underpinned by the prayer life at our school. Daily prayers identify need locally and abroad, and the daily exam helps to support individual prayer and reflection. As a school, we're trying to understand the value of caring for the world and our neighbours. Laudato Si offers us an opportunity to reflect on the world around us and to respond to the signs of the times. We are called to reject the contemporary throwaway culture and to open our eyes and to see how God is present throughout creation. We bear witness to the reality facing many of our sisters and brothers across the world who are being pushed deeper into poverty due to the changing climate. Whilst climate change is critical, it is only one symptom of a much deeper problem and how we organise our common home. Pope Francis invites us to a change of heart individually, as a community and at an international level, so we may truly respond to both the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor. Interestingly, last week on the 4th of October, the feast of St. Francis, Pope Francis issued his follow-up to Laudato Si, Laudato Deum, Praise God. In the new document, Pope Francis says that our responses have not been adequate. He is after Laudato Si, in which he revealed his heartfelt worries for the care of the common home, and yet the world continues to fill in consequences. He asks everyone to join me in his pilgrimage of reconciliation with our common home in order to make it more beautiful, because that commitment has to do with our personal dignity and highest values. On Thursday last week, the Reverend Andy Alston, who writes for the URC Daily Devotions, provided an excellent link to the critique of Laudato Deum. I'm not going to read it all, but I would highly recommend it. His blurb for Laudato Deum reads, "This is a shorter follow-up letter addressed to all people of goodwill on climate crisis. His Holiness pulls no punches, and his letter reads as a cry on behalf of the earth." So, where does that leave us? We're trying hard to expose our school community to the issues in our world today, environmental and social, in the hope that as they continue all their journey through life, their pupils will still attach their value and importance to working together to care for our planet, taking action and speaking out. What we all do or do not do has an impact upon the world, albeit a in part. But the mystery is that ultimately we may never know what a difference we have made. As the slide says, the eyes of the world are on us all, and the world can't wait.